Yeah, good morning. It's close to 6 a.m. IST over here in India, Bangalore. It's been a long time since I have recorded a video, especially in the context of a lot of interesting changes, innovation, and I would almost call as game changers in the retail industry in particular, which I haven't been able to cover, especially in areas that have been something I was passionate about and am still, and has been the biggest motivation for me to even start innovation overdrive in the first place. The pace of innovation and the kind of opportunities that has come up in the retail, e-commerce, and in general the digital space is phenomenal. And my intent is to share perspectives from my experience over the past several years, and especially in the recent past, where as a consultant I had been able to get involved heavily in a lot of innovation that was happening in the grocery retail space. So, one topic I wanted to quickly cover, these are going to be quick videos, is in the context of product management in the retail e-commerce domains. I want to emphasize on the latter part because what has significantly, I would say, caused a lot of confusion and damaged corporate structures and software level innovation has been the overinterpretation of product management and its significance in this particular domain of retail e-commerce. Why I say so is because all the sound bites, all the knowledge movers and shakers in the product management space have fundamentally come from the internet products space, be it Google, Meta, to some extent Amazon, and a whole bunch of other companies like Netflix and so on. Unfortunately, these very valuable perspectives being shared by a lot of these experts hasn't really been focused on the ground realities of how omni-channel retail operations work even in the digital era. And this has caused a lot of templatization of the product management function, the role, and it has fundamentally resulted in the over glorification of all the wrong areas in product, or even the wrong interpretation of what product even means. So we have seen product organizations built in these large or small scale retail industries and companies, obviously across them, which have tried to mimic the so-called success stories and so-called operating fundamentals of these internet product companies. I personally believe, having seen that happen and unfold over the past decade or so, or even more, it has damaged the ability to actually build software, and more than building software, run a retail omni-channel operation or a company effectively and efficiently. To that effect, there is truly nothing called as product management in the particular domain that we are talking about. It's a pretty, I would say, hard hitting and odd statement to make because things are rolling. It has been happening. Organizations are being created with a lot of product management heavy or product management centric operations within the retail organization. But nothing is too late. It's always possible to rethink about how we organize ourselves. And for that, the first rule is that there's nothing called as product management. Why so? Because the fundamental aspect of how a good omni-channel company, a good retail organization needs to operate in this modern era is to actually make sure that business is heavily enabled to do the things that allow them to closely engage with the customers and allow the employees in these organizations who are already exposed to the customers to have better access to tools and techniques that enable them to perform well. It is never about a website. It is not about creating extreme innovation in the name of modern technology and so on. So, the ability to not allow product management as an organization and as a function to be a bottleneck to business success, and in turn not necessarily enabling the software engineering teams to perform at scale, is something we have to be seriously looking at and considering. So, with that, I will stop. My intent is to not be critical of the work happening, but to certainly put a very strong perspective ahead of what I believe is the practical reality of what is happening in this space, and the dangers to innovation and success, and even possibly existence for a lot of these retail, e-commerce, omni-channel companies. Even AI is going to heavily disrupt this space. So until then, thank you very much, and see you soon. Bye.